They have another opportunity here to close in on this deficit. They trail by 1 in the top of the 3rd inning. Glad to have you here in this 1A Conference State Championship game. Every single year, teams are a little bit different. Talking to head coach Yogi Wilson, I always ask coaches, what makes this year's team unique? What makes them different than past years? And for a team that had been to back-to-back state semifinals, you really need that one more little bit of burst. And part of what it was this year for St. David was the ability to count on the next woman up, if you will. There's always going to be your star athletes, the ones who get it done, the ones who are the stars. But there's also those ones that show up when you need them to show up. It felt like throughout the season, different girls were those next ones to step up and make the difference when this player maybe wasn't performing or having a great day, or this player wasn't having a great day, or this group as a whole maybe wasn't as stellar as they've been all year long. They've had girls throughout the year step up when they needed them the most. They hope to find that here this afternoon as well. Top of the 3rd, leading things off for St. David and the Tigers is going to be Piper Merrill, struck out back in the 2nd. Now going to get back out here and lead things off in the top of the 3rd inning, batting .270 this year for the St. David Tigers. First pitch inside the zone for a strike, just on the inside. Head coach Yogi Wilson, after that semifinal win against Williams, that was over here at Papago Park. So on the way back home, they actually drove over here to Arizona State University. They went to Buffalo Wild Wings. And he drove by and said, hey, girls, that's where you're going to be playing. You're going to play on a college field. Giant grandstands, big old signage, painted dugout. This is not St. David, Arizona, 167 miles southeast. So they all got a little bit of a view. They weren't able to come into the field. They drove by and kind of peered and saw the Sun Devil softball signs and got an idea of this is where we're going to play for a state championship, looking for the first title in their softball program's history. Merrill, a half swing, puts this into the grass, actually. Drag race to the base, and Merrill picks up a leadoff single. Well, St. David knew that they needed to be in attack mode. They brought that out in the top of the 2nd. Now a leadoff single here in the top of the 3rd. Reagan Haney now up to the plate. She walked last time she was up and ended up being the first run of the ball game for the Tigers. Haney showed bunt. Ball gets loose. Here comes the 5-footer diving in head first and safe. Merrill swipes away second and puts herself in scoring position with nobody out. Haney had the count here, 1-0. Sander delivers. Now ahead in the count, 2-0. On top of just trying to win the first ever softball state championship, looking to be the final sport at St. David to win that title. This one rolls in the grass. Merrill's held at 3rd, and it's going to be runners on the corners here for St. David. Haney on base in both appearances to the plate tonight. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 3rd inning, brings up Caitlin Padden. Bottom of the order here for the St. David Tigers. The 3rd baseman popped out to 3rd base last time in the 2nd. Looking at an opportunity here to bring in the tying run here in the 3rd. Shows bunt, lays it down. Merrill will get turn on the Jets. Play at the plate. She is safe. Run to 3rd, and just like that, Merrill scores. Haney is now safe on 3rd. Reaching second base on a fielder's choice, Caitlin Padden brings in the tying run. Four ball game here. Coach Hutchins will again come out, discuss with our home plate umpire, Jim Gordon. Boy, we got an electric one between the small schools. Located over 350 miles away from Farrington Stadium, these teams are. Joseph City, 190 miles northeast. St. David, Arizona, 167 miles southeast. First pitch to Emma Hart, low for a ball. Runners on second and third. An opportunity to open up some floodgates here for St. David. Hart batting .439 this season. Third time at the plate here this afternoon. Grounded out in the first. Singled on an error back in the second. 4-4 ball game. Runners on second and third and still nobody out. That pitch outside. Hard ahead, 2-0 in the count. Joseph City, who has been the absolute offensive juggernaut this year, trying to pull the reins in on this St. David offense. That ball is in the zone for a strike. 2-1 count. Two-one delivery, and that one is low. Joseph City trying to avoid walking the bases loaded. Sander delivers 3-1, swing and a miss. Both teams have really been conservative, hitting the ball or swinging at the ball as well. Haven't seen a lot of swings and misses here through the first 2.5. Sander, payoff. Sky high, shallow right, and missed it in the sun. One run comes in. Here comes Pat and play at the plate, and she is safe. 6-4 ball game. St. David has swiped away the lead. Emma Hart, after the dust settles, winds up on third. Still nobody out here in the top of the third inning for the St. David Tigers. Another mound visit. No Coach Hutchins. Again, they do this all year long. Both teams have such great leadership and great composure. They figured it out themselves. Both coaches really allow these athletes to come in together and battle themselves and talk to each other, communicate with each other and what they need to know. Emlyn Hawkes now to the plate. She's 1 for 1 today. That includes a walk back in the first. She scored in the second and also brought in a run as well. First pitch in the zone for a strike. Hard on third, 0-1 count here for Sander. Still nobody out here, top of the third inning. That pitch finds the zone. Ahead 0-2. Joseph City has seen such little adversity, especially this postseason. Popped up, it's shallow, good communication, and Sander comes away with the out. Three runs here in the top of the third. This is only batter number 6 of the inning for St. David. It's Austin Hatch. The catcher is 2 for 2 today, both singles. And Coach Wilson was telling me, hey, that semifinal against Williams, it was not the prettiest. They won their first round game against Salome 12-0, beat Ash Fork in the quarterfinal 12-1. And boy, it came down to the wire against Williams. Only had 6 hits as a team in that semifinal on Friday night against the number 3 seed. Here tonight, they've already eclipsed 3. They're up to 5 hits here in just the third inning. Hatch batting .493 this year. She's been walked 28 times in 2025. Leads the team. 0-2, and that one's outside. One-two count, one out. Emma Hart on third. 2-run lead here for St. David's, a 3-run third inning so far. 1-2. Low. Count evens up. And you just have to love the energy of the crowds, especially in a championship game, but even more so when these parents, friends, and family have driven from over 150 miles away. Every pitch, someone has the energy with them. Popped up, foul. How much games like this mean to communities like this? Joseph City, who's won it 9 times. They won it last year. How much it means to the Wildcats faithful. And St. David, who's never won a softball state championship, how much it means for the Tiger community up in St. David, Arizona. Both schools under 150 students enrolled in their high schools. Over 150 miles away. 2-2, little pop over the top of the mid of Jesmer. Another run scores for the Tigers. This time it's Emma Hart, courtesy of the Austin Hatch RBI single. Four runs here in the top of the third inning. Brings up Jasmine Wise now. Wise batting .439. 0 for 1 today. Popped down in the first, walked in the second. Swings to the first pitch and puts it to right field, and it's caught by Audrey Neal. And back almost got the tag up, and she is irate, throws the mid in the grass. It was a quick throw, almost retired the side, but officials say that Hatch tagged back up just in time. So Paisley Gooding now to the plate, pitcher against pitcher. 1 for 1, a walk, then a single. This one's to the center of center, and that will do it for the top of the third inning. Floodgates open for St. David High School. 4 runs make it a 7-4 lead here in the top of the third. We have an electric one for you here from Tempe, Arizona, and Alberta B. Farrington Stadium. Glad to have you here on the NFHS Network. Bottom 3 on the way here from Sun Devil Stadium, Arizona State.